The French government just announced these sanctions. France is currently holding the rotating presidency of the EU Council of National Governments. They are extending the exclusion from SWIFT to 3 Belarusian banks, and they're placing new restrictions on the maritime sector in terms of Russian access. We don't have the full details of what exactly that means about the maritime sector, but I've been told that this is not a full closure of EU ports to Russian vessels. There is still too much concern about such a move disrupting trade, particularly in energy. So this has to do more with parts. But we'll get some more details, I think, about this before tomorrow, because this is still just informally agreed. The prime ministers and presidents of the European Union are meeting in Versailles, outside Paris, tomorrow, where they will officially adopt this latest round of sanctions. And of course, it comes at a time when sanctions are really expanding throughout the West. It's still very unlikely that the EU is going to ban imports of Russian energy, particularly not gas. I think the only thing that's within the realm of possibility that could be agreed at this Versailles summit is a ban on import of Russian oil. The EU is comparatively less dependent on Russian oil. It gets about 25% of its oil from Russia. It gets 45% of its gas. However, there is, of course, a concern that if you ban the import of oil, Russia will respond by banning the export of gas. And that could really throw millions of Europeans into darkness and cold. Now, we did get statements from the Kremlin in the past couple hours responding to that U.S. oil, gas, and coal embargo on Russia, saying that Vladimir Putin has signed a declaration preparing the legal basis to restrict exports of raw materials. Assumedly, that means petrochemicals, that means oil, that means gas. However, Russia has not taken that step yet. This can be read as kind of a threat, I think. How credible is that threat? I think that's what leaders are going to be talking about tomorrow. Yes, Russia can find other markets for its oil, but really the only market right now would be China, and they would have to sell at a deep discount. And in terms of gas, the pipelines are only oriented to go toward Europe. They can't pipeline gas over to China, so there would be nowhere else for that gas to go. So a lot of people see those threats from the Kremlin as being empty threats because Russia is dependent on that oil and gas money to fund its war, and the EU is dependent on that oil and gas to keep the lights on and to keep heat on. So it's kind of a situation where neither side can really blink. But of course, everything has been so unpredictable over the past 2 weeks. We just don't know what might happen at that Versailles summit over the next week.
Dave Keating reporting there from Brussels now.